This week at Edmunds Live, I'm joined by Ron Montoya, Ed Helwig, Mike Monticello, and Aaron Riches. And this week, we bought a Corvette. And actually, we picked it up from the Corvette Museum in Kentucky. And that's more complicated than you might think it is. And that's why Ron Montoya is here, because he's the guy who actually had to buy it for us. Ron, how would I go about buying a Corvette and picking it up at the museum?
Well, what you do is you go to the dealership, you configure the car how you want. We took a vote on the color. We wanted the lime rock green.
Yep.
So we ended up going with that one, chose the options we wanted, and then at that point, they submit the order with the Corvette Museum. You do have to pay about $1,000 for that special delivery. And afterwards, you just wait for your car, and then you get that phone call from the museum, and then you just sort of schedule an appointment to pick up the car from the factory.
And you have to spend, was it $990? What does it actually have the window sticker right here? $990 to pick it up from the factory, but you still pay the $995 destination charge.
Wow. That makes sense.
I mean, you get a plaque in the car. You get this lovely plaque right here, which is lovely. And you get a tour. But I don't know, I think you might get a little screwed on that one.
And they get a free exhibit, like our car was on display.
It was.
For what, a couple days?
And it's in its own webcam, too.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it was a good tour. It was about 4 to 5 hours or something like that. So, you know, they walk you around, you get your money's worth, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's lots of companies do European delivery, but it's an opportunity to do Kentucky delivery. We wouldn't want to do that. But we do have the Corvette for an entire year. It's pretty exciting.
I mean, I think everyone's pretty excited because this Corvette is so good, and it's equally as drivable as a 911 in pretty much any kind of circumstance. So it'll be interesting to see if we gravitate more toward that, or stick with the 911 as the favorite.
And it's a really classy color combo. I think we got to that lime rock green with the black wheels and the dark tan seats.
Kalahari.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. No,
and the nice thing is that when we got the 2LT, and it's the color leather is only on the seats and on the door a bit and the center console. If you get the 3LT, it's everywhere.
That would be horrible.
Like
that would be horrible.
Our short-term one had the red interior, which is kind of tacky.
Yeah, we got it about as classy as you could set it up. So
yeah, we're not tacky at all.
No. Well, let's switch gears to another not tacky car at all, the Jaguar F-Type V8s. I did that test, but Mike, you drove it, and it's a very subtle car.
Oh, it's super subtle. I mean, especially if you press the exhaust button. 5 miles an hour in your parking structure or in your neighborhood, and it's like NASCAR Stalker meets Ferrari 458 Italia. The way it just crackles and.
You will be very unpopular in the neighborhood because you just come into your parking spot and it goes.
It's so loud. It's so loud and so awesome. I mean, it really is a fantastic exhaust sound. Plus, you can turn it off. I mean, you don't have to be obnoxious. I mean, I had it for a weekend and I was obnoxious the entire time. But it's also a fantastic.
With the car.
With the car.
Oh, without the car.
I'm obnoxious anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't. There's no sound button for me.
That's true.
It's full Monty all the time. But it's also a great driving car, and 500 horsepower, super fast.
Supercharged, and a 0 to 63.9 seconds, which is about as fast as you can get from a rear-wheel drive car.
Yeah, rear-wheel drive, and
it's a bit of a handful in our slalom, but it wasn't. It has a really nicely modulated throttle, fairly easy to drive quickly, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's a bit of a hooligan car.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's intended to be.
Yeah, I don't know if it's for I don't think it's for the regular Jaguar owner for sure. I mean, I can't see regular Jaguar people, having a car that loud. But I think maybe for the younger Jaguar buyers, it's going to be spot on.
All right, let's go to our lightning round, everyone. Ron, if there's one piece of buying advice you give to a car shopper, what would it be?
I would say make sure you research price. It's easy to get price quotes from dealers, but once you actually compare it to a price, and you can check our TMV price, then it gives you a reference point on whether you're getting a good deal or not. So definitely do your research on the price and make sure you ask for what all the options are on the car so you can match it up exactly.
Nice. Would you do factory delivery on a car that you were buying?
Oh yeah, because then you could just totally take a road trip. And, you know, I think Kurt did that once a couple years ago in Sweden with a C30.
They paid for your airfare with Volvo.
Yeah, that's an even better value, apparently. Yeah. And then they toured around Sweden in their car, and then I guess put it on the boat and then flew home, which, that's totally cool.
Yeah. Monty, you have 100 grand, Jag F-Type V8s or long-term Porsche 911 Cabriolet? Familiar question.
Jag F-Type. I mean, I like our 911 convertible, but the Jaguar, like you were saying, it's an event every time you drive that thing, and it's just makes such great sounds. It's so fast, so much power, and I don't know, it's just cool new Jag.
And Ed, we got our first look at the next generation Cadillac Escalade. Has its time passed, or does it still really matter?
Oh yeah, absolutely matters. I mean, it's, you know, people wrote off big SUVs, but they still sell quite a few of them. And I mean, this is like the last, you know, big Cadillac. I mean, you know, they're obviously going after the Germans with their sedans, but this is sort of a unique thing for them now. And it looks really good. I mean, they put a fantastic interior in it. I mean, sure, it'll probably drive similar to the previous one, but I mean, I think it's kind of a vehicle they need, and they'll probably do real well with it.
Let's bring in Claire on Skype. Claire, what do you have for us this week?
So this week I have a question from VDubCub posted on YouTube, and they ask, what's your favorite car color of all time? Mine is a recent one, and it's the French racing blue found on the Jag XFRS.
Ron, what's your favorite?
I'm going to go with Supersonic Blue Pearl on the 98 Integra. It's actually more of like a metallic purple.
It's very late 90s.
Yes.
Excellent.
I like the Laguna Seca Blue that was on the M3. I mean, it was a distinctive color, but not obnoxious, and it just looked really good on that car.
Nice.
I actually really like that Jaguar color too, but with a name like Monticello, it has to be Ferrari red.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
It does.
I'm going to go with WR Blue Pearl from the WRX. Still like it, even though the cars are aging on the road.
It's
Similar,
almost as good as the Laguna Seca Blue.
But cheaper.
All right, Claire, what else do you have for us?
Yeah, I have another question from Andy Zhang posted on YouTube. He asks, what's a good used vehicle for a family of 5? Trying to keep the price tag under $17,000.
Aaron?
That's going to be tough. If you can get by with a 5-seater, then I think like a used Accord, Camry, or Ultima will be the best value. If you've got to have 3 rows, look for used Mazda 5s.
Elliot Manning posted on YouTube as well. What has been the least favorite vehicle to drive for the 2013-2014 model year?
Wow.
Ed?
Can I go back to my standard G-Class? Is it ever not the worst thing to drive?
Oh, it's the awesomest car to drive.
Whatever. To some people,
That's
maybe.
McGrath's favorite
It
car.
makes you
Yeah,
feel
it's
like a
Mike McGrath's favorite
dictator.
car,
It's fantastic. Crushing the
Awful.
peasantry.
It's just
It's
awful to
bad.
drive.
It's bad.
Terrible.
Disagree.
My least favorite car that we tested this year, I think, was the Nissan Frontier Pro 4X. That truck just feels like a truck. It just feels so old. The
love
engine
it.
is industrial.
Man,
I
think
love
Mc-
that engine.
You are such a liar.
No, I really
You
like
should
that
not
truck.
lie on camera. You're on camera.
I thought about buying one after that test.
That's funny.
It is a
McGrath
little
also
old,
loves that car.
Yeah, I like
we're
it too.
sensing a pattern here. Okay.
Gang up on Monty Day.
That's every day.
Aaron, least favorite car you've driven this year?
The Dodge Dart.
Yeah, Dodge Dart.
I'm going to go with the Prius C. I felt like it rode a little too stiff, didn't have much room in there, and just wasn't that fun to drive.
Those are all the questions I have, but if you'd like to be a part of the show, submit your questions on one of our social accounts. Like us on Facebook, follow Edmunds on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks!
All right. Thanks, Claire. See you next week on Edmunds Live. Thanks, guys.